Hello guys and welcome. So as you can see that we are seeing Bitcoin hold relatively stable, which is always very good, especially when we see the stock market down by around 2%. And even the a lot of other cryptos are also down by 4%. So let's go into why this is happening and why we're seeing Bitcoin hold a little bit of strength. And it is pumping it relative to the stock market, but overall it's not a good story. But AJ has a nice short on, don't you, AJ, at the moment? And we can go through that in a section, shan't we?
Yeah, of course. If everyone's been following the channel, I do have that short position open, and of course we'll go through the charts at the. But as Ben said, we are having a slight push towards the upside, but it's not looking good. Volume isn't there. The bulls are just not there to keep that momentum going. So it looks like it could be a bull trap. But yeah, we'll go through that in a moment.
It is. We are seeing a bit of a bull trap, unfortunately. Just as you mentioned, like I said here, S&P down by 1.5, Nasdaq down by 2. We also see the 10-year Treasuries down by just over, 0.1%. Just looking at this kind of very briefly, we can see a lot of fear in these headlines. Just to kind of echo this and bring it slightly more into the light, Wall Street chorus grows louder, warning that 2023 will be ugly. I've always said that I think, especially on Wall Street and also in crypto, that the early stage of 2023 will be really bad. There are some considerations that maybe the Fed will start, releasing the pressure quite early. But overall, a lot of the institutions are all saying the same thing. Bumpy times ahead, mild to hard recession, and so rude awakening on earnings. These are things that really are coming into effect. That it's not going to, bode well for us. And overall, we are in a downward momentum. Oh, oh, they started playing an interview for me. Downward momentum, S&P 500 traced below the 200-day moving average. And as we can see, the 200, the yellow line, we're breaking below this, and we are kind of using it as an area of resistance. So unfortunately, we are stuck under that line. What does this mean for cryptos? Like I said, over the past 24 hours, just under 1% down for Bitcoin, about 2% to the downside for Ethereum. And then we look towards some of the smaller coins, 2% on Cardano, 4 for Dogecoin, and then looking through 2.5, 2.5, 4.5 for Chainlink. And you will probably remember there was a bit of a pump for Chainlink prior to the staking. Since that's been released, we haven't seen very much excitement around that. I think we will in the future, but currently down by around 4%. And again, we're looking at Algo, Chronos, and Filecoin in that area as well. Now, I'm just going to quickly move on. There's some similarities here between the collapse of June's Terra collapse, and this is in the implied volatility and the options market. So similarities, I should say, as those surrounding the Terra collapse in June, looking at on-chain data. Data provided by Glassnode, a bit like you, AJ. Do you say glass or glass?
I say glass because I'm from up north. I live down south
Yeah,
now though, but yeah.
weirdo, freak, freak. But anyway, data provided by Glassnode shows the Bitcoin's 7-day implied volatility dropped to an annualized 50% in December, attaining the same levels as the implied volatility after the Terra collapse. So pretty hard levels of implied volatility. The lunar collapse was characterized by an increase in implied volatility. This was seen as a sign of the market's fear and uncertainty. What do we have right now? It's a lot of fear and uncertainty with crypto prices, which drove the price of the underlying assets down. The options market became a way for analysts to measure potential price swings by determining the level of fear and incoming volatility through higher premiums. And so we're seeing something very, very similar at the moment, which doesn't give us a very good, should we say, outcome. Options market performance is a measure of the market sentiment towards a particular asset. Bearish sentiment forces traders to sell off the underlying assets, as shown on the recent options 25 chart above. So we are seeing a lot of this, a lot of this selling pressure still existing. Yes, we have seen a bit of buying pressure from the likes of the smaller Bitcoin holders, dipping their toes in a little bit more, which is good. But I think the
Not enough though.
institutional story is very different.
Not enough. They're just not
No,
enough. We need those
exactly.
institutions coming in.
I know, like, come on, you guys have the money, like, pump me up, pump me up. What I will say though is that we're on this kind of institutional front. Grayscale are facing a lawsuit as GBTC plunges to record low 43% discount. Now, the discount is basically how much Bitcoin do you have, but how much is the actual how much is the instrument that holds these? How much is that selling for? So it's currently at a 43% discount. Now, Fir Tree Capital is suing Grayscale over this massive discount, which is pretty crazy. And I'm not going to cover this too much, but we are seeing Fir Tree Capital claim potential mismanagement and conflict of interest at the firm's flagship Bitcoin fund. I think I'm going to do something more expansive on this, but there's Grayscale. Actually, I won't go into it now, but they're involved in a very they're very heavily involved with a company that got caught up in the FTX kind of fire, should we say. So there's a lot of questions and uncertainty around GBTC and the Bitcoin Trust.
They
Now,
love to
just
sue
moving
each
this
other
on.
in America, don't they?
Oh, mate, they sue each other for
I'm not
everything,
sure what they've done. Maybe they've done something really bad, but in America, they all love to sue each other.
I know, isn't it? It's just like, oh, what are you doing at the weekend? Probably create a like a lawsuit or two, which is mental. um, but yeah. Anyway, so historically, GBTC has traded at a lofty premium, but now obviously it's not great. So if you hold it and you can't sell it because the assets are now worth 40% less than what you actually have, it's ridiculous to sell it. But yeah, so that then causing this guy to sue. Do you reckon this will be more of like do you reckon everyone else will jump on this bandwagon and be like, hey, I could sue as well?
Potentially, yeah. We'll have to see what
But
comes out of it.
you know what I would like, but if they hold all the Bitcoin, well, I know they don't hold it, they're not the custodian of it. But like if these are the guys who you've given your money to, why would you sue them? Because then if everyone else does it, they have to pay out loads of money as like, settlements or rewards or whatever, once they win the lawsuit. But then they're going to have to like liquidate your Bitcoin in order to make those payments, or just go
Yeah,
bankrupt, in which case you're not going to get your money back anyway. I don't know
yeah,
exactly how that's going to work, but would be interesting though.
it would, yeah.
Anyway, just want to move on. CBDCs. I'm keeping this quite quick. So CBDCs, we all know exactly what they are. Central bank digital currency. Seems very good. Everyone got very excited about them. Nigeria has now implemented a withdrawal limit of $45 per day. Now, I'm pretty sure that's what the headline says because I can't see a bloody thing right now because I'm blind. Yes, it's $45 per day. Anyway, so this is another thing that I warned of, and a couple people on the stream when I mentioned this, and some of the risks is that it seems like a good idea to get paid directly from the government, but if the government issues the money, they have complete control over how much they give you, at what time, where you can spend it, how much you can withdraw, how much you can actually use yourself. So it doesn't seem as though I think this is the first real red flag for CBDCs. Just limiting cash withdrawals. If it's your money, the government controls your money now, and they can say, "Hey, look, actually, you can't take your money out of this bank because it's going to cause a bank run." And so, not being able to have that security, I think, is a massive red flag here, AJ.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, which for me anyway, like it just doesn't seem fair. Cash is now looking things
It's almost
might
like
go
it's
full
not your
circle.
money anymore.
Well, exactly, yeah. And so they say, you will still be able to take out larger sums in some instances, right? What kind of paperwork you're going to have to go through with the government in order to qualify. But then you will have to pay 5 to 10% just to take your money out of an ATM. That's absolutely ridiculous. So I really don't think that that's going to be, beneficial at all. But sticking on the whole, on the government side of things, look at what we have in the next 7 days. I will say today we did have Eurozone GDP growth came in higher, which is actually very good. So big up the Eurozone, mad on the GDP growth. We like this. We have next Tuesday, big day on Tuesday. We have inflation rates for Germany, employment change UK. We have the economic sentiment from the Eurozone and Germany. And most importantly, we have core inflation data. Okay, core inflation and CPI coming in at 7.7. But then the day after, this is what everyone's going to be talking about, is the FOMC economic projections. Now, you guys know I've already shown you this. It's, Fred St. Louis. You can go on that online. But we're anticipating, so previously we're at a 4%, interest rate. We're expecting a 50 basis point hike. And so this is going to be announced. And then afterwards, we have Jerome Powell saying what he thinks, why he's doing it, etc. I think a 50 basis point is already cooked in. And I think this is what we're going to get. But I think he's going to say something along the lines of, hey, we're going to have to do this for a very, very long time, which is not good. But it will all hinge on the inflation data coming out the day before, because then he'll know, okay, how is it looking? If it starts dropping drastically, he'll be like, well, we've made some good progress, so we might not have to carry on for too long. If it comes in above expectation, then obviously, AJ, we're going to be looking at something where they say, hey, look, we're going to have to keep raising raising rates till about 6%, maybe even 6.5% when we're currently at 4%.
Yeah, and that could be what takes us down to 14, potentially even 12, 10,000. And, for our short position that we have open, which I will show you in a moment, it's going to be very good. So I'm not really complaining.
Exactly. Can you bring
My
us through this
long-term
short here,
HODL
AJ?
portfolio is complaining at me, but
Yeah. Just put me in cash, please. You're losing money.
my trading
Yeah,
portfolio is happy.
could you go through the short position just to cover this off for anyone who didn't see it? You did obviously have a really good short position that you created,
Yeah.
and obviously, Happy Manette has mentioned that they are very happy with you. Just a quick 30-second recap of what we went through. I've got your screen up on here now.
Yeah.
Just an
So
overview and then updates.
the other day we opened up a trade. As always, I opened it live on stream to you. I showed you me opening this trade, and I actually showed you me adding to this trade as well. I think it was actually Happy who was asking me about it, and I was so confident about this that I even added to it as well. As you can see, just over 10% in a profit, $285 in a profit. So right now we're in a nice profit. We're not there yet, though. We do need the bearish volume to come in, okay, for this confirmed fake out to occur. But right now, it's looking perfect. It's looking like a perfect setup for a fake out towards the upside, so a bull trap. And I am still expecting that pullback. The bears are coming in. We can see the bears are coming in. The volume just isn't there yet, but the volume can kick in later. This could just be the start of those big whales pushing that price down, and then everyone sort of follows, and it's sort of a domino effect, and then the price just drops. We've seen the exact same scenario a few weeks ago here. We traded this as well. We made a really, really nice, successful trade, almost $4,000 in a profit on that trade, which was a really, really nice trade. We broke towards the upside, minimal bullish volume. Okay, the continuation towards the upside on minimal volume was a very, very bearish sign for me. And I was telling you, I'm not getting bullish here. Whilst everyone else was getting bullish, I'm not getting bullish. Okay, I'm expecting a pullback, and I was shorting, and I shorted this. Okay, and we made a really nice trade. And as you can see, the price pulled back. Bearish volume came in. Okay, the bears said, well, if the bulls are not going to take control, we're going to take control and push that price lower. And they pushed that price all the way down to $15,500. And we're getting the exact same scenario here. So on the 12-hour, we can see that descending triangle. The volume is decreasing on the 12-hour, but I like to show you on the daily because this daily volume is perfect for a fake out, a bull trap. So the volume is decreasing on each pump. The volume is decreasing. This is what we want to see, and as you can see, we are getting that slight pullback today. We are getting that slight pullback. The pullback has only just started, so maybe the bears are going to come in soon and push that price down. But I am expecting that price to pull back, and I'm expecting this trade to be a really, really successful trade. As you can see, currently 10% in a profit, roughly 10% in a profit, $283 in a profit as well. Reason why we opened this trade is because we were at value area high. We've been using this strategy for a long time now, trading value area high to value area low and value area low to value area high. We made some really successful trades, and we can't just use that. Obviously, we want to use confluence as well. What I was looking at is two bearish divergences. So just to show you one of them, this one here, we were seeing higher highs on the price action, lower lows on the RSI. Perfect bearish divergence. We also had this golden pocket coming in from the range high to the range low of this as well. That was, of course, going to act as resistance as well. And yeah, we can see that the price has pulled back as I expected it to. And now we just need sort of that second phase to come in where we get that big spike in bearish volume. Okay, the domino effect happens and we see the price pull back. And yeah, I've been saying I think this pattern could be the pattern that potentially takes us all the way down to $14,000. And you know, this is what I'm doing. I'm shorting this because all the signs are sat right in front of me right now, telling me to short, and that's why I did open up this short position. As I said, you know, I opened this live on stream to you, and I also added to it as well. So yeah, this is currently what I'm doing right now. I'm just sitting on the sideline with this trade right now. You know, I'm not looking to enter any more into this trade. I'm just sitting on this trade and I'm waiting for the bears to finally kick in because I'm expecting this to happen. It looks perfect for a fake out, for a bull trap, and I'm waiting for those bears to kick in. And then potentially once we see that volume coming in, I could actually add to this trade here. Again, you know, increase the capital I have in this trade. But right now I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for those bears to kick in and push that price lower.
Yeah, which I'm thinking it does seem as though we're heading in that, like you said, volume's just not there. That
Yeah.
pump doesn't convince me. It really doesn't convince me, does it?
It doesn't. And if you look at the volume here, so we've had this big green candle right here, as you can see.
Hmm.
Okay, yes, we've had some nice bullish volume there. Okay, but then we go to the second pump. The second pump here, okay, we have a decrease in volume. Then the third pump right here, another decrease in volume. And then the fourth pump, okay, which is actually bigger than the third and the second pump, you know, even lower volume on that one. Then we had consolidation, slight push towards the upside, but then we did get a pullback instantly. And, you know, that volume was even lower than the previous volume. So the volume is just continuing to decrease on these pumps. It just, you know, it's not sustainable for these pumps to continue when the volume is decreasing. And what happens is the bears will look at it and be like, right, if the bulls are not going to take control and push the price up, we're going to step in and dump that price. So, you know, it's just looking perfect for a fake out. And, you know, this is why I'm capitalizing on it.
Yeah, there we go. Guys, do you have any other assets you want a quick overview of? If you do, drop that in the comments.
I was just
And
going to
also
have a
don't forget to smash the like button.
Yeah, smash that like button. Make sure you smash that like button. And, you know,
Yeah.
if you do, it tells us that you want to see more trades like this as well. We can continue to bring these videos and these trades to you as well. You know, we show them live when we're opening these trades. I just wanted to show quickly the S&P 500 as well, because I know you mentioned it previously,
Yeah.
but we are actually seeing a rejection from this white descending trend line right here. You know, we've respected this very well over the
Very
course of
nice, isn't it?
2022. So since the very start of 2022, we tested that in January, the 4th of Jan. Then we tested it again on the 29th of March. Then we tested it again, literally to the dollar, on the 16th of August. And we've again tested it pretty much to the dollar on the 1st of December. And we are seeing a rejection from this. So we can see the S&P is still in this big downtrend. You know, we're forming lower highs and lower lows. And, you know, if we do have a recession coming in, we could actually potentially break this previous low of $3,500 approximately, taking us down to that potential target that I've been looking at $3,233. I still think if we break below this major support here, that is still a very viable target for us. And as you can see, we are currently sat at support right now. This has been a major support and resistance level previously. So support here, resistance here, support after the break towards the upside, support before the break towards the downside, resistance. Okay, resistance again, broke up, used it as support, and we're going to use it as support right now. But if we do break approximately $3,900, then I would expect this next major support to be the next level. And then if we break that, I would expect $3,230 approximately to be the next target. But the S&P 500 for me is still looking very, very bearish. I know we've had this push towards the upside, but we still cannot get above this major resistance here, this blue box here, or this descending white trend line. We just cannot get above it. So for me, it's looking very bearish. And if we can't hold support at this major support here, then we're going to the next major support. If we break the next major support, we're going lower as well. So It's not looking too good for the S&P. And of course, we have been looking at the S&P and Bitcoin being correlated previously. They have they're not really correlated anymore. But if we do continue to see the S&P 500 dump, and then we continue to see Bitcoin dump like we expect, then maybe they are going to become correlated again. So we are going to keep an eye out on that as well. But the S&P was actually pumping towards the upside whilst Bitcoin was dumping. So for me, they weren't really correlated. And if you've been following the channel, you know that we like to use the S&P with the price of Bitcoin to sort of predict where Bitcoin is going to go, and same with the DXY as well. But they have lost correlation recently, so hopefully they can get back correlated, and same with the DXY and Bitcoin. Hopefully they can be inversely correlated again, because it gives us a really, really good understanding of where the price could be going. It just it helps us with our analysis. So it would be handy, but again, it's not necessary, to be honest. We've opened up this trade here without the help of the DXY and the S&P 500, so it's not needed, but it does help. But yeah, for me, the S&P is still looking very, very bearish. That's just sort of the moral of the story there.
And I think when you also add in the 200 moving average as well, what we mentioned earlier, that's another thing that, is like you
Yeah,
said, got these such key levels, that we are
yeah,
continuously getting rejected off of. Now, there's been a mention from Charlie here for Solana. So, if you can bring that up, I know this is just off the cuff, so that we might not have any, TA prepared.
yeah,
But a lot of what's been going on with Solana, it has been tied in directly to the FTX story. So a lot of these big drops, i.e., this ginormous one you see here, that's not so much a technical issue, and technical analysis hasn't been, a major factor in that. But obviously, that's a fundamental driver, that's kind of brought us to that level. So
yeah.
it's this is not purely TA related. But what's the current story we're looking at now, AJ? Is there any larger time frame kind of levels that we're looking at? Why is it that we've stopped around this 16? I think it's like 13.6. Sorry, I think that's where we're currently at.
Yeah, 13.6. The reason why we've stopped here on the technical side of things is because we do have a previous consolidation period back here, all the way back
Mhm.
in February and March of 2021. So we're finding support at this sort of high volume level. I'm sure if we pull up the VPVR, this is going to be a big point of control. But that's why we're currently holding support at this level. As we can see, we zoom out, there's a big sideways consolidation phase there, and that's where we're sort of holding that support at right now. But for me, for Solana, I still think lower is possible, and I still have a price target of $5.75. That is still my price target for Solana, because we had this bear flag right here, okay, that broke towards the downside, okay, and there was actually a really nice entry here. I feel like I missed that trade. I can't remember actually trading Solana recently, but I think we actually missed that trade. But that would have been a really, really nice short from around $47. If we still had that trade open, that would have been a really nice trade. But there was a strong confluence there for a short, and I actually think I missed that trade. I think I remember missing that trade, and I might have spoke about it on the live stream. But I was looking actually to potentially short Solana, but as I said, I missed that. But there was this bear flag here that broke towards the downside. We tested it as resistance, we got a rejection, and the price target for this bear flag is actually down at $5.75 approximately, which is why I still have that price target. So for me right now, if we do break below this previous sort of consolidation phase here, then $5 for me is a very, very realistic target. And even if Bitcoin is going to have this confirmed bull trap, this confirmed fake out, okay, and we're going to see Bitcoin pull back, then we're most definitely going to see Solana pull back. Solana could come down to that price target at $5.75 approximately, and potentially even lower as well. I've seen John Doe said Solana 2.0, and I to be honest, I can't really comment if Solana is going to zero. I still think there is a possibility that they can recover, but I think Solana could go very, very low. There's even a possibility that it could go lower than $1. So for me right now, I wouldn't be looking at getting into Solana. I'd be looking at shorting Solana. On the shortest time frames, I don't know if there are any You know, there's
And
a
also,
resistance level there, but yeah, for me right now, I would stay well clear of Solana until the end of the bear market. Okay, and if they survive the end of the bear market and we see them starting to recover, then yes, we could say that we can get back into Solana. You know, Solana, I do like Solana. You know, the previous bull market, I made a lot of money within Solana, but yeah, we just need to see if it can survive this bear market.
yeah, and I also like, one thing to consider is, the reason why Solana dropped was because of the FTX kind of scandal. And the reason why it dropped was because FTX, they held a lot of Solana, a lot of Serum, which was like a token based on the Solana chain. And so, when these become, released, and the whole bankruptcy thing is beginning to get sorted, funds start getting allocated to different users, etc. A lot of the collateral that is on the books of Alameda, that's on the books of FTX. A lot of that's going to have to be sold at market price, which could mean a potential dumping of all of these assets, which would massively drop the price. Imagine you're selling $1 billion worth of Solana. That's really, really going to tank the market, because then everyone
Yeah,
else is going to be like, right, well, F that. I don't want to still be holding the bag at the very end.
yeah.
So I think that will kind of lead to a bit of a contagion. So that's another fundamental leg down that we could potentially see, which definitely adds another bit of validity to that price target, AJ, of around
Yeah.
$5 or whatever the exact number was.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I do still think that they're gonna. I think they're gonna survive. You know, nothing has
Yeah,
really changed with their on the fundamental side of things for them, has
they're
it?
still going down, aren't they? Still blacking out.
Yeah, yeah, true.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
yeah,
So it was really a big VC coin that always broke down. I mean, look, John, you're a pessimist, but you're not wrong.
yeah,
You're a pessimist because of this, but you're not wrong because of this.
yeah, yeah. But yeah,
But
so for me, for Solana, I'll stay well clear of it until the bull market comes around and we know that they've survived. But yeah, as I said, if Bitcoin is gonna have this confirmed fake out, and you know we're going to see the bears kick in and push that price down, then of course Solana is going to follow that as well, and that could hit the price target of $5.75.
perfect. Good. Okay. Well, there we go, guys. That's everything for today. What we'll do is we will be back tomorrow, and continue to update you with regards to the trade that we have open. One thing I do want to mention, though, guys, is if you want to follow us on these trades specifically, just as we have, people like this are following us in making a bit of profit, finding out these good trades, you can sign up using the links below in the description to both Bybit and also Femex, where you get up to $4,000 back when you deposit. So make sure that you do that. If you do want to follow us, you're welcome. It's a pretty bloody good deal. And obviously we're very happy that everyone can continue to all make a good community together
Yeah.
with our Lord and Savior AJ at the helm of the trading desk.
Yeah, and of course I want to be 100% transparent with you with every single trade that I take. And you know, as I've been saying, you know, over the past 2.5 months, we've now made 10, well, 10 trades. 8 of them were winning trades. One of them was a losing trade, and then this is the trade that we haven't closed yet. So it's still in unrealized profit. So we'll have to see how this trade plays out. I am expecting it to be a nice winning trade, but you know, we'll have to see. Anything can change. You know, it's looking perfect for a bull trap right now. We just need those bears to kick in, and then the rest will follow. You know, that domino effect, and we'll see that price go down. So yeah, we made some really nice profit over the past 2.5 months, and I am looking to continue this as well. And as I said, I'm being 100% transparent with all the trades. I'm showing you me opening the trades. I'm showing the profits. You know, the loss. I showed you that loss. I told you that we took a loss on that. But we move on. We look for the next trade, and you know, I'm being 100% transparent with you when I'm taking profit as well. So yeah, if you want to see more trades like this, then please smash a like on this video. It lets us know you want to see more trades like this, and subscribe if you're new. And yeah, I guess we'll see you in the next live stream.
Thank you very much. See you later, guys.
See you later.